News First, face to face with Charlotte Benedict.
Hello there, very good evening. Welcome to another edition of Face to Face, where we keep you up to date with the latest of political unfoldings here in Sri Lanka. Much happening today as well. But before we get into all of that, I'd like to introduce our guest this evening, Mr. Dayasiri Jayasekara, former General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. A very good evening, Mr. Jayasekara, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, starting off today, quite startling decision. Now, people today learned that they have to pay each. Every citizen in Sri Lanka has to pay 7,000 rupees each, all for the debt that has been accrued by Sri Lankan Airlines. Now, this, why you might think, this is all because the government now has decided to absorb $500 million of the debt in Sri Lankan Airlines by the government, which means the treasury, which means your tax money. So guess what? You are now paying for the debt of Sri Lankan Airlines. Now, Mr. Jayasekara, you were quite critical about the matter surrounding Sri Lankan Airlines, because we know that Sri Lankan Airlines is now bankrupt because of the inept decisions that were taken by those in power, by putting their relatives and friends into chairmanship positions and then stealing from Sri Lankan Airlines, stealing through corruption. And all of these matters have been proved. So what do you think they're really trying to do now?
Now they wanted to sell anyhow.
Right? They just want to sell it.
They wanted to sell it.
They don't care how it happens. Yeah. They don't care how much it costs the government or the people.
Yes. Now what has happened here is, actually I have gone through all the details about it when I'm in the COP committee. So actually the burden is the leasing of aircrafts.
Okay.
That is the biggest problem.
Right. 95%
of their income are going for the lease
of the aircraft.
But you know, normally when you compare with the vehicle, small car, when you lease it, end of the lease you get the car to your hand. Now here, what has happened? You are leasing, you are putting the money to lease every aircraft, but it will never come to you, right? It is a burden. So actually we don't have any plane now. Flights we don't have, because everyone is on lease. Lease basic. The other thing is, actually that lease amount is
exorbitant.
Yeah, it is. You can't believe that much of a.
So that is not the market value.
That is not the market value. That is why we are always saying that, as you said, they got bad decisions, bad management. As you said, all the relatives were there. They steal the whole Sri Lankan airline. Finish the reputation, right? Now no one is coming. And in the meantime, the minister himself is saying that, we have a small amount of flights that we have. If you want to go, you go in another airline, right? So that is this kind of ministers who are handling these kind of, institutions. What you can do is, you have to sit with all these officials, sit with all the pilots, sit with all the, engineers, talk to them and try to, build this up. That is what we wanted to do. But by not doing that, he just saying that, you see, now I can't sell this, because of your issues, because of your strikes. I can't sell this. So selling is his main thing. Other than the develop this national carrier.
So, but it's kind of funny, because the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna came in on this promise that they will not privatize anything. There was a lot of criticism for the sale of the Hambantota port. There was a lot of criticism for the West Container Terminal. There was a lot of criticism for various other sale of national assets, if you will, by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. And their promise, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you'd know because you were on the campaign trail, was that they will take back the Hambantota airport, that they will take back or they will reverse the decisions that were taken to privatize certain entities under the previous regime. But Nimau Siripala de Silva was also, he was actually with you in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, but campaigning for the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. So what really happened there? What do you think?
Yeah, now they have changed their leader, no? So Gotabaya is chased away by the people. And after that, there is a person came to sell all these. Rajapaksas and their, people, they appointed Ranil Wickremesinghe, and now Ranil Wickremesinghe is selling all these. So that is not the Rajapaksas selling these, but they allow these institutions to be sold out as quickly as possible.
So moving on, Basil Rajapaksa is back in Sri Lanka. Whether he's back in Sri Lanka on holiday or on official matters, we don't know yet. But he got a grand welcome at the airport. What do you think his arrival to Sri Lanka would really mean? Would it have really an impact on the elections?
Nothing will impact on Sri Lanka by his coming back to the country. But I think politically they are trying to do something, because Pojana Peramuni is in a very dire situation. So they can't go to the village level and start up their campaign. And in the meantime, they don't have a leader to contest for the presidential election. And that is a problem, because whether they are going to support Ranil Wickremesinghe or whether they are going to have their own candidate for the presidential election, that is what they are now in a, it is a dilemma. So now, as soon as Basil Rajapaksa came in, they will have a meeting with all the stakeholders and try to do one of those options that they have. One is to support Ranil Wickremesinghe, the other one is put one candidate from their party.
So Basil Rajapaksa, you said, would not have an impact in the country, but don't forget, Basil Rajapaksa was the person for whom the entire constitution of Sri Lanka was changed just to accommodate him in parliament. And once he came into parliament and left parliament, that amendment was changed again. So Basil Rajapaksa has had a certain impact in Sri Lanka, and that's the reason why whether or not that's a good impact or a bad impact, that's for people to judge. But that's the reason why I posed that question to you. So moving forward, really, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, the party that you say you're still a part of, however, the leader has seen it fit to suspend you, and you have challenged that decision in court right now. So with your policies in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and, well, of course, the SLPP aligning with each other, the SLPPers, or at least a majority of them, a majority who I've spoken to and who are in the limelight right now, are very much in favor of Ranil Wickremesinghe contesting and supporting him at the upcoming elections. Is much the same with the other members of the SLFP?
I can't actually tell you who are the real SLFPers and who are not. Now, because there are 9 MPs who got into the government without
permission.
Get the permission from the.
But they're still in the party.
They're still in the party.
They have not been sacked.
Yeah, they haven't been sacked. Because
so maybe your mistake was not aligning with the government.
Not aligning with the government. And
that's your mistake.
Getting a portfolio.
Okay.
But actually, I still think that the party got a right decision. And I am always feeling that without getting a portfolio, being in the opposition is good thing, because we appointed, we elected and we supported Gotabaya Rajapaksas to be the president of this country, and we supported that government. And as we all know that what happened in 2022 May, we all resigned from all these portfolios. I didn't go back against that decision. So still I think that is a right decision. I don't know what will happen to SLFP, because SLFP now 9 MPs are with the government, and in the meantime our leader is going to form a alliance. In that alliance there is no leader to contest for the presidential election. So ultimately what they have to do is to put a candidate from that alliance or to support Ranil Wickremesinghe, because majority of the people who are coming to that alliance are government ministers.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So government ministers and some MPs are in the opposition. When they resigned from all the portfolio, they came to the opposition. Now all these MPs don't have a party to contest. So that is why they are trying to have the alliance. And I don't know what is going to happen. The other parties actually, Communist Party, Samaja Party and Mahajana Party and Honorable Dallas faction and Honorable Roshan Singha's faction, me and all kind of people are still not, reluctant to go and join with that alliance, because that alliance we don't know what they are going to do. So there is a problem like that. So SLFP, I don't know what is they are going to do, because there is no real target for them now. Right? They are vulnerable. All the organizers are going here and there. They went and joined Sajid Premadasa. Right? There are so many problems. In the meantime, SLFPs are going to, some people are going to NPP. Some are going to.
There are members of the SLPP going to the NPP also.
Yeah, that is the problem, because actually I wanted to clarify here, because there is no leader for centre-left parties. That is the biggest problem. Because now we have to support one of two leaders from the
centre-right.
Centre-right or
further right.
Further right. So one is Ranil Wickremesinghe, the other is
Sajid
Premadasa. So there is no centre-left leader here. That is done by actually Rajapaksas, because we elected Gotabaya Rajapaksa for centre-left leader. Right? Now he has chased away. After that, what happened was Rajapaksas gave their support to Ranil Wickremesinghe. So now he's a right-wing leader. So now there is no any other option to all these SLPP people, because they think they can't support Ranil Wickremesinghe either Sajid Premadasa.
Okay.
They are going to NPP because they don't want to support right-wing leaders.
Okay. Okay.
So that is why they are going to NPP. Right? So that is what has happened.
So moving forward now, there are those who support the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. There are ardent supporters of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Then most of them believe that all of those values in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, well, at least I believe, or I'd like to think, the good values of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party were taken to the SLPP. They believed it. But where are those policies now?
Only the problem is now there are parties now, no policies. That is what has happened.
This is going with the wind.
Going with the wind.
But do you make that statement in general for all parties?
Yeah.
There's not a single party in Sri Lanka that has stable policies.
No, stable policies, because now even see Sajid Premadasa. He never says that he is a right-wing fellow. Right? He is not saying that he is right-wing leader. He says his economic theory is social market economic theory. So he is not the social market economy. He is social market economy.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, right. So it is also another centre-left kind of a theory that they have built up. So that is why I told you. Even Ranil Wickremesinghe is also saying the same thing. He said in his, I think, as his party leader, he said, we are for social market economy. Right? So all the other left parties are also saying the same thing. So because now you can't, categorize these are centre lefts, these are right wing parties. All came to one conclusion. That you have to have a social market economy kind of a economic system. Theory for the whole party. So that is what has happened.
So for a supporter of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party or the SLFP or the core principles, since you yourself are from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, then supported the SLPP, where do they go now?
I don't know, because no one has a proper plan. That is what I can see, because we can see it in the future when elections come in, and that is the problem in our country, because we have policies presenting into in an election, presidential election or general election, but it doesn't happen. They are doing something rather, the things that they have promised are not going to have not done in the past so many years.
Yes.
So now is also the same, because it is now very critical situation. We have the economy is in a very critical juncture. So that is why I always say every party must get together. Always my thinking is like that, because always we all must get together and have a proper plan for another 25 years time. Whatever said and done, what are you going to do? Even a small framework, right? Without that, how can you run this country? Because country is not at that good. But then
the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was given that mandate. 2/3 in parliament. Never before under the 1978 constitution has a single party come into power, or at least an alliance that contested together under the same ticket. No party has come into power at an election with a 2/3 majority. Subsequently, there have been instances where they take in a few from the opposites, from across the island, and make that 2/3. But never before has a party come into power with 2/3 majority, and they messed things up for the country right royally. So if there is consensus within the party like that, and we can't really have a plan or do something good for the country, how can you say that parties should get together? Do you think that will ever happen?
Yeah, because that legitimacy has gone now. As you said, 2/3 majority that is given after 2022 May, it has gone. No legitimacy. That is why we always say, as parties, we must get together and have a proper plan. Everyone can come together and discuss the economy, what kind of policies that we are going to do in future.
Jayasekara, you're thinking very positively, of course, which is good. But when you say the parties must come together and come to a consensus, I don't think it's really even possible for a party to come together and decide on who their leader is, because the next leader is appointed by the leader who is sitting right now. So don't you think that should be fixed first?
This is not a problem of a leader. I am talking about without your positions. If you come together, that is what we decided, and we framed a framework for that. When we have all the troubles, that is how Ranil Wickremesinghe came and have discussions with us. Right? We 35 members came, 50 odd members came out from the government and came to opposition. And we all got together and decide we must have a proper plan. After that, we decide who are going to lead the country. But now it has gone now, because now already Ranil Wickremesinghe has been appointed, and he is also trying his best to actually. He has so many times he has said that get together, come and support me, but there is no proper plan. Proper plan for this. He's asking to come and support.
But no plan.
So
he's asking the MPs to support him,
support
not
him,
his
not
plan.
his plan. That is the problem. So that is why I always say, don't say this. Have a proper system in parliament. That is the best thing, because if you can have a system placed in parliamentary committee or something like that, ask all the party leaders to come, and in the meantime party members also can come, MPs can come, and have a proper mechanism to develop a proper system by getting all the parties consent. That is what I'm always asking. Now what he's saying, the president is saying, support me, come and support me. That is what he's asking. What I'm asking is not to support him, but to have a proper plan for the future of Sri Lanka. So that is not happening. No one is going to do that.
So moving forward, because we're in the final few minutes of the show, what is the role that Dayasiri Jayasekara, the politician, is playing right now in getting things together and, of course, preparing for the presidential election?
Now, actually, we are having some discussions with all the opposition parties. Now, actually, before I leave the country, I had some meetings with, Communist Party, Samaj Party, Mahajana Party, and Dallas fractions, and Roshana Singh's faction, and all kind of other parties together. And in the meantime, I have there are 18 parties who got together and asked me to come and give them the leadership, and now we are doing that as well. And we have had a chat with Honorable Champika Ranawaka as well. There are so many other parties who are not participating, representing Parliament. So actually, as I told you, there is a huge the place for centre left political.
There's a vacuum.
Right? But we are trying to do that first, and after that we can think how are we going to work it. So these period of time, that is what we are doing.
So would it be right for me to say that you are looking for a leader to put in as a contestant for the presidential election?
Not the leader. Actually, we must have a proper plan for that. After that, we can decide who is going to contest as a presidential candidate. But before that, if we can get together and agree for some policies, these are the policies that we are going to do in the future. And after that, in that parties or persons, we can decide who is the person who is more popular and pragmatic and visionary leader who can come forward as a presidential candidate.
So you said there's a vacuum in the centre-left for leadership. The JVP was known as a far-left party. Now the NPP is leaning more centre, so they're now a centre-left party. So are you considering looking into the policies and the plan, at least, of Andrukumara Dissanayake from the NPP as well?
Yeah, because as I told you, because of the vacuum that in the political arena in this country, NPP is coming as we discussed. They are far left party, but now they are coming to centre left party. So that is why I always say that we must discuss with NPP as well. What are the policies that they are going to do? Not only that you are going to catch all the corrupt leaders, thieves, and put them into jail, right? Those are very small things that you can do. But what I am asking is, after that, how are you going to pay our debt? What are you going to do for the economic revival? How are we going to take this forward? Those are the things are more valuable. But the people are fed up with these political parties, fed up with all these political leaders. So that is why they are thinking, no, we'll give them a chance. See what will happen. So that is what we have done earlier as well, because when we elected Gotabaya Rajapaksa, they always say, they all said that there are so many leaders, we should bring a leader, without politics.
But you supported them as well.
I didn't support. I didn't propose that. But ultimately, what has happened?
You had to support.
We had to support because SLFP didn't have a leader to put in as a presidential candidate. So that is what we had to do. So what my thinking is, actually, people should understand, giving a power, testing people, testing leaders, testing parties is not going to work ultimately. Because now we tested Gotabaya Rajapaksa, in 2 years time,
So, but
we chased away.
But I think just a quick answer from you, because we're in the final few minutes. If you try something out and it doesn't work, they just destroy you. Isn't it right to fail them and move on to the next? Isn't that the circle of life?
Yeah, but you can't do the testing second time. That is what I'm saying.
So once tested, fail, then out.
No, not out, not out. We have to think very wisely, because same thing will happen again. We don't know.
You have to be a bit careful.
Yeah, be a bit careful.
And be a bit more insistent, be a bit more involved.
Yeah.
Don't just vote and then forget about it.
Yeah, definitely. That is what I'm saying. But what we have done last time,
Voted and forget about it.
Voted, and we thought that this fellow will do something, right?
And we just waited. We didn't do anything.
That is, ultimate thinking was actually he will,
a little bit of a God complex kind of a situation.
So what has happened ultimately? So that is same thing will happen it again if you are thinking like that. That is why I always say, have a proper system, proper plan, proper policies, what they are going to do, how they are going to, revival of this economic crisis, and those kind of things are very, very important.
Well, Mr. Jayasekara, of course, during the past, at least a few decades here in Sri Lanka, what always happened was, whenever a political party comes into power, they give concessions to the people, because it was usually a contest on who can give more concessions. So the people were happy, they weren't paying too many taxes. But now the situation is different. Although we have political parties coming into power, they can't give us as much concessions or continue to hoodwink the people as much as they did in the past, because now the issues in our economy have come to the limelight. We're a bankrupt nation, and like it or not, we will have to adhere by certain rules, regulations put in place by international organizations, because they are the ones who are funding us now, because we can't manage our own finances. So that will definitely be an incentive for the general public, because they are feeling the massive tax burden that of course everybody is experiencing right now. That will be an incentive for them to be more involved in politics, not just before the election, but even after the election, into the tenure of any government. Thank you very much, Mr. Jayasekara, for joining us on our program this evening. Thank you very much to all our viewers out there for tuning in to another episode of Face to Face. Until we meet again, take care and God bless.